So the next question I have for you is, what made you want to go to USC Aiken after high school?
Okay, so I didn't initially go to USC Aiken after high school. I wanted to do a program that was going to give me time to, figure myself out. But I ended up going to Greenville Technical College, and then I went from Greenville Tech to Denmark Technical College, and then I went from Denmark Tech to USC Aiken. So I ended up coming to USC Aiken, thinking my, credits were going to transfer, and it was going to be, great. I was going to start from like a sophomore or junior, and that did not happen. I pretty much had to start from scratch. And I was an industrial engineering major, and it just seemed every single year, it never seemed to fail that something would come up. I would get sick or some disaster would end up happening, and I had to really take a step back and figure out what it was that was going on, and how to change this, because it was ruining my self-care and mental health. So I decided to take a break for about 2 years, and then I'm recently back for environmental earth system science.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll tell you my story because I don't know you like that. But my story comes from a background, and I've told you personally, but my story comes from a background of my friend Roland. And he was like, I was going through some suicidal thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And his mother, he had asked his mother if I could stay over. And they've already had this conversation behind my back, asking if they want me to go to college or not. So they was like, hey, D, my mom wants you. I was like, all right, go downstairs. She was by the computer, and she was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm doing good. She was like, how's everything going mentally? It's like, everything's going good. Everything is kind of shaky right now, but I'm trying to push myself. She's like, have you ever thought about going to college? And I said, no, I never really thought about going to college. It's just gonna be a waste of time. And she was like, well, stop talking about the things that you can do in a regular sense. Go ahead and go to college, because you do not want to waste your time, basically, like in the area you're in. So, of course, as I tell people all the time, I think of it as a life or death situation. So, what do I mean by that? If I stayed at where I was, I would have probably ended my life there.
Oh, wow.
If I chose to go to college, I don't know where it would go. I would go, but at least it'll probably keep me away from where I was.
Yes.
So, chose college. Now, the hard part was, hey, maybe my GPA was not that good in high school. That's another reason why I would go back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My
Same.
GPA was not the best. So I was like, okay, well, in college, I would have thought, when I was looking at it, I was like, you need to have a 2.5 GPA in order to go to college. Like, I got a 2.2, so I don't know if I qualify. But then the chancellor called me, and he was like, huh?
Right.
Yeah, and he was asking me some questions that was kind of like, that was making me worried, because I took a math class that's weird. That's very weird. And it was like, what math class is this? And I was like, I don't know, Butler teaches it differently. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, see, South Carolina don't normally have those classes. And I was like, well, I was in Georgia. So that was kind of different. So the next thing you know, they was like, they had asked, there was like, if your GPA is not the best, well, we'll do you a favor. If you can work hard, and if you keep your GPA above 2.0 at least, you can come to college. It's like, I promise I'll do that.
Wow, that's great.
So then next thing you know, 3 years ago, 3 years later, I'm in college. Should be a junior, but you know what I'm saying, we getting there. Like I said, I've been working hard to try to get to that junior status. I become a junior over the summer because I'm taking summer classes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's like, man, I'm one step closer to where I need to be, and hopefully nothing gets in the way of it. Myself or the world. But
you know, I'm honestly hoping for your success, because that is amazing. You know, sometimes it's a rough start, and then you move forward, and you find your footing along the way. It takes some time. I have a similar story too, but you know, we're here, we're doing it,
right.
and I'm a super duper senior.
Yeah. So I'll explain how this became a thing.